All right, we're back. BarstoolBuddhas in the house. I'm Jai.
Rip. So please like and subscribe. Do your thing.
Yeah, or not.
Yeah.
Well, we like looking at the little stuff in the underneath and all that. Not much there, but it keeps us busy on a cold day. So, so a lot's been going on since we were here the first of the month. And quite frankly, it seemed kind of redundant for us to say a whole lot because everybody on the YouTube is just, and everywhere is saying the same stuff about the same stuff. So, but you got to do something with all this time. It's winter time and you can't go outside, right? So, what's our favorite subject?
Joe Biden here lately.
Mr. Moron Emeritus. Yeah, so we've got a special announcement today.
We're all SOBs.
We're all SOBs. Everybody's an SOB. And,
Just for today.
Just for today. So all the viewers, you can go out and say, yep, BarstoolBuddhas made us honorary SOBs. But on the serious side, that whole thing rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh, yeah. It's classless.
I mean,
It's a legitimate question. And the call reporter in a press conference. It's just
the reporter really handled it well, I think. He made some statements like, well, I got to talk to this guy the rest of his presidency, maybe the next 4 years, whatever it is, and I'm going to be talking to him about a lot of stuff. But it still doesn't excuse the most powerful man in this country, our leader, has to stoop to those particular.
Well, he's always had comments that have come out underneath his breath throughout his career.
Yeah.
Things have been said. And
I guess Mr. Ducey is probably very actually fortunate that he wasn't standing in front of him. He could USOB. Let me whisper in your ear. Could have been worse, right? Could have been worse. So, but I guess Hunter Biden's probably his consultant now, telling him it's okay to bitch slap people. You know. Yeah, not that anybody out there needs to be bitch slapped, but it's a figurative thing.
of speech.
Yes. So I've been thinking about this whole thing, speech, and rebranding the Let's Go Brandon thing.
It's getting kind of old.
Yeah, and if your name is Brandon,
That would suck.
yeah, if you're on the right, you could be a hero. But if you're on the left, other than getting a free cup of coffee at Starbucks, it's probably not going real well for you right now. So we want to rebrand that instead of Let's Go Brandon, which isn't really what it means. Let's just say what we really mean.
Just go Joe.
Just go, Joe.
Let's go.
Just go home. Go where grandpas go when they lose their mind. Leave the rest of us alone.
Take Nancy with you.
Yeah. Oh, there's a power couple for you. Whew. So, unfortunately, he is still in charge, and it's going to be a critical time. You might have heard that Justice Breyer is leaving us, and he is on the left, but he's not radical. I've listened to a couple of things he says, and he was talking about the Constitution and some things like that. And the guy's the old school. He still believes that. He has ways of applying it that are kind of left-centered, but not the people going to come behind him. And so, I was thinking this might be a good time for me to step up and serve the federal government. When I went to put my application in, I found out I'm not qualified. You know why?
Because?
I'm not a female, and I'm not a black female.
What if you identify as?
I don't know. I didn't ask that question. And they'd be hard-pressed to say no, I guess. How could they say no?
If they're accepting everything else under the sun.
Well, so I'm not going to get that job, and I'm crushed. But but I've seen some of the people that might get the job, and I'm crushed. I think somebody mentioned that even Kamala may take that position.
Well, like you said the other day, you'd rather have her on the Supreme Court than be in charge of the country.
Oh, well, yeah. If you're going to sit in a chair, that's the one. Well, I think I heard a story. Willie Brown, you know who Willie Brown is?
Oh, yeah.
Her mentor that got her where she's going. Yeah. And
is that what they call it?
Yeah. So he advised her that if she was not going to not get into the presidential thing, but if, she was offered a post to take the attorney general. She'd have more power to do what she needs to do, whatever. So, this kind of fits in with that. Please go over there because Joe's not going to be the president too much longer. After that conference he did the other day, So at least put her somewhere where you got a 1 out of 9 chance of her not doing any harm.
Right.
That's a better chance, right?
Can you imagine her as the AG? We thought Eric Holder brought a lot of
Make Eric
problems.
Holder look like Walt Disney.
Good night, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see where that turns out. This is all some juggling for the elections and whatever. So anyhow, but Joe's in charge of that. That don't freak you out. You got a strong constitution there, better than our constitution at this point. So, Ukraine's in the news again. And I saw this morning.
And they don't want to be in the news.
They're telling everybody to cool out.
Yeah.
Don't stop ginning this stuff up. So I see where NATO is getting cold feet. Can you imagine the Russians are actually wanting to repossess Chernobyl? And the glow-in-the-dark wheat? Yeah. Oh, my God. So everybody's getting kind of nervous over there. Well, the Ukrainians have got a lot more at stake than we do.
Absolutely.
It's not a NATO country. And I don't think all of NATO is going to be on board starting World War III. I don't know. It's a tough time. But speaking of tough times, Neil Young.
Oh.
Neil Young, he's been a great songwriter for years, musician, but he is a quitter. He is a petulant little child.
He takes his ball and goes home.
Well, he quit Buffalo Springfield, CSN. He tried to quit Spotify a year ago because they didn't have quality. The quality of the playback wasn't what he thought. And so now he's pissed off at Joe Rogan. So they said, well, you can have Rogan or you can have Young, but you can't have both.
They took Rogan. Said, see you, Neil.
Yeah. Neil didn't understand one thing. Business wins. It always does.
So Joni Mitchell's joining him.
Yeah. That's an ugly thing. I just, and I loved them both in the 60s. I loved
their music. For their music.
I love their music. But, I don't give a tinker's damn about their politics. I got politics. You know what? If I had a catalog of music like he does, maybe they'd listen to me for 15 seconds. But you know what? They want to talk about how old white guys like us are entitled and this, that, and the other. This guy's entitled. Now, this guy came from Canada. A lot of people don't know this, but he was a Canadian citizen. He took a U.S. citizen, so he has the rights to do what he's doing. But you'd think he'd be a little more grateful. Basically, the United States gave him a playing field to do what he did and made him a very wealthy man. He sits up in, I guess it's Northern California, and it's a big spread. Got a place called The Barn where him and his friends, and I saw this, so I'm going to say it. They sit around smoking pot and playing and making videos on YouTube, right? Yeah. And he's living with what's left of Daryl Hannah. Got him a trophy wife.
Yes.
She might need a little polishing, but,
What game did he win?
I don't know. But the point is, he should be living the life.
Yeah.
If I'm 76 like him and I'm living up there doing all that, I'm like, shit, man, I got nothing to worry about. I'll die before anything gets up the road to bother me.
Right.
Why go looking for trouble? But he didn't win that, and I get a feeling that we're going to see more of this. You're going to see the big rush for all the 60s progressive music people are going to try to get off of Spotify, this, that, and the other.
What happened to them? They used to be against the man. Now they are the man.
They are the man. Well,
become the man.
I think it's a case of arrested development myself. Peace, love, and this, that, and the other. It was a good thing to add to your life, but so many of them took it as a lifestyle. I remember lots of people in my life, and many of them aren't here anymore. They ended up living in their mother's basements till they died of whatever. They never amounted to much because they thought everything should be free. And, we were maligned and put upon to have a job. And so part of that mentality, I think, is still out there. I saw Glenn Beck the other day. He had a whole thing on the hippie mentality. Yep. And he says, we're done with it. Forget it. But unfortunately, you've got a lot of that mindset is running California. It just went malignant, and it's just endemic pervasive out there, buddy. Oh, it's awful. So, but to be clear, I'm not going to stop listening to Neil Young's music or Joni Mitchell's or anybody else because of their political views. But that's because I enjoy free speech, and so should they. But I'm not going to let them tell me who else I should listen to.
Right.
I'm not going to do it. And my opinion is that you should consider not doing that either, right?
Mind your own business.
Mind your own damn business. Yes. Okay, so speaking of people who won't, the CDC, they're minding your business.
Yeah.
They own your business. So, you know, we had this incident this week. Was it in Pennsylvania?
I believe so.
Why is it always Pennsylvania? They had a truck crash with 100 monkeys on it, apparently, purportedly from the CDC. And they went all over the interstate. Breaker, breaker, good buddy. We got monkeys in the turn lane. And some kind-hearted Samaritans started gathering the monkeys up, and guess what? They're sick.
Infected.
And the CD says, oh, if you touch one of those monkeys, you got to call us immediately. Which begs the question.
Why were they transporting?
Why do you have infected specimens traveling
Outside of a lab?
Outside of a controlled space. Now, I've been in some these labs in my job years ago, very tightly controlled. Once these specimens go in, and I'll call them specimens, I don't want to get into the whole animal rights thing. They do what they do. They inoculate them, they watch them, and they're destroyed. They don't leave again. Now, I'm not saying that pieces and parts aren't put in cases and whatever and shipped under the lab. I don't know that protocol. But they don't put 100 live monkeys who have been subjected to testing, usually in a truck, back on an open American highway. Makes you wonder how often this is happening. Would explain a number of things.
How it spreads so quickly?
Oh, yeah.
And how every variant that comes out is in 25 states overnight kind of thing?
Yeah, we need to be careful for YouTube. They'll get upset about this. We're not saying that happened. We're just wondering, is this the first time this has happened? Why is this happening? So, the problem I'm having with all this, what I've had from the very beginning with all this is, what was it? Project Warp Speed. We're going to come out with the vaccine. Mm-hmm. And that was an excellent thing. And they did what they did. Anything around it you don't like, you do like, whatever. I'm not going into that. Mm-hmm. But they did do that. But that's all they did. They have spent the last 2 years denying people possible treatments.
Alternative treatments, management of the disease. They put all the eggs in one basket, and they just basically tell you, we could do this. We'd probably get busted by YouTube for this, but this is me, right? You don't need no ivermectin. You don't need no meds at all. Boost. So, I mean, in India, I love to go to India. India had a treatment, and I can't say much about it, but I just hear what I hear. A state called Uttar Pradesh, 300 million people, almost as many people in this one state as in the whole United States. They handed out little treatment packs. And they had little pills and whatever, and they gave it to the whole population. And guess what happened? They got a visit from who?
And then they get a visit from representatives of the United States asking about it. And all of a sudden, that treatment is a secret, and nobody else is going to get to use it. You know what? I could get pissed off about that.
Follow the money.
So, I mean, we could complain about that all the time. So, if you got nothing else to do, just go get boosted. What is it? Fauci says, boosted. Dr. Fauci. Anyway, that we could ramble on about that because it's the same stuff everybody's pissed off about, which means that everybody's talking about it, which ought to tell you something right there. So anyhow, closing this week is going to be the same as we did the first of the year because we had that New Year's resolution, right? What was it?
Mind your own business.
Mind your own business. Be the example. It is your business. It isn't common property, even though the left thinks your business is their business and blah, blah, blah. It's your business. Mind it. Don't let them tell you what to do. Be an example of how that happens. Mm-hmm. Live your own life. Spread the word. Panic is the enemy, not your neighbor. And, we were talking, there was a story about the last place on earth apparently had no COVID. And then there was a case. The story read, guess what it said?
what was that word we used?
Culprit.
The culprit.
The culprit.
The culprit was an airline passenger. Not the virus, not just it's going everywhere. The culprit that ruined paradise was an airline passenger. Yeah. They've even got this stuff in Antarctica at the lab, sealed off in the middle of some ice shelf somewhere, and they all got it. Well, I'm not even going there. Figure it out. How the hell did it get there? So anyway, do your part. Live your life. Quit Facebook, TikTok, all those corporate news channels. Just turn them off. Stop listening to anybody with a platform. It's an authority, even us.
Yeah.
Listen to what you listen to. Go figure it out. Live your life.
Draw your own conclusions.
Draw your own conclusions. You could be wrong, could kill you, but you could be right. You might live. You know, it's a responsibility you got to take for yourself. And so, again, stop apologizing for every damn thing that happens.
For what you are and what you are not.
Exactly so. So I think that's going to do it for this week. This will end up January. February will be another interesting month.
Thank God it's a short month.
We got Valentine's Day. What are we going to get for Fauci? We're going to send him a dozen roses with this in the middle, I guess. Boost your roses. Yeah. Anyway, we're out of here.
Peace out.